Hey everybody, Lee from PC Junkie Mods here.
So, Lee didn't want to do the video. He just walked off the set. I don't know what happened. My name is Dwight. I'm usually the man behind the camera, but today I'm going to show you this sweet thing right here. This is a full tower case from NZXT. It's called the Phantom 530. It's actually my personal case. I'm going to be upgrading it pretty soon. There's probably going to be some videos on Lee's channel soon after this or before this. I don't know when he's going to put this out. It's not my channel. I'm just here filling the gap because the dude's off doing something, I don't know. This is the NZXT Phantom 530. Like I said, give it a quick twirl. This beautiful case. It's much wider than the original Phantom. It has almost an inch of space behind the motherboard tray, but it is shorter. The original Phantom is actually much longer. It's probably about this much longer, probably about an inch or two longer. But the original is longer, but it's shorter and thinner. It's weird proportions, but I'd much rather a shorter case that's taller and fatter than the other way around. So this is a pretty big upgrade for me. Up top, we have a built-in fan controller slider. It has what feels like 3 settings. Yeah, there's one in the middle. So there's 3 settings there, so I don't know really how well that works. I don't plan on using it myself, but it's a nice option for those who do not already have a fan controller. Behind the little switch is another button that says I/O on it. So most of the time the I/O is related to power, but in this case it's actually related to lights that are on the I/O panel here. There's one up here, and I believe that there is one right down here for the PCI slots. So it's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty neat feature. I think it is unique to NZXT, so awesome on them. We have a window that still has the plastic on it because, well, we're gonna be working in it. I don't wanna scratch it. Have a spot for a 140mm fan on the side for all your hard drive needs, or just in a separate spot for intake. So let's spin it around to the back where there's room for up to 140mm, or you can go down to 120, perfectly fine. There's even adjustable sliding areas here in case you need more room for a rad support up top, or if you have fans up top, you can move this fan down and then make room for all of that stuff, or you can keep it up, you put it wherever you want, player's choice. It's perfectly fine. Other than that, you got rear water cooling ports, which no one uses. Would love to see that in action. Tweet it at me at Potato Orgy on Twitter, it's cool. We got vents and stuff. It's raised on the back here in my mind, it's to prevent noise. It could just help with better airflow, but I think bringing the grill away from the fan helps reduce noise. Not rear, but all power supplies are rear mounted. A front mounted power supply, again, tweeted at me. I want to see that, that's pretty cool. Bottom mounted power supply even has a thing here for a filter for that. There's also one in the front for the 240. Spin it back around, we'll open up the side. All right, now that we have the side panel off, you can see the amount of customability that this thing has. This whole case feels modular, which is awesome. Each one of the drive bays can be taken out via thumb screws in the back. You can't see them because they're in the back, but you could slide these out to make room for me. I'm probably gonna put a 240 rad on the bottom. If not the bottom, probably the front. Don't know yet. Probably on the bottom, because that's how I had it up in my original Phantom. So it's nice to know that I could just slide these out because I'm not going to need all of them. There's a mounting bracket here for a fan inside the case to try to cool, well, whatever you want. Well, I guess anything within probably, what is that, a 45 degree? Something like that, somewhere around there. I don't know my degrees. I never passed math class. I just went in there and just banged on the table a whole bunch. I'm not going to be using that, but it's nice to have the option. On the bottom, again, there's a spot for 2 120mm fans on here with a slidable filter that comes out the front for easy cleaning. Again, very nice. Thank you very much, NZXT. We have plenty of spots for cables to come out to the side for all your routing needs. It's very nice to see a big hole here for the power supply because 24 pins are huge, and well, every power supply has one. So it's very nice to see that it drops off immediately too from the power supply where it would normally sit. Moving again to the front, the thing that is really nice about this case that I haven't seen in any other case, not even the super high ones that are $250, $300. These brackets are all metal. There's no plastic on these things. They're screwed in as well, so you can take them out if you want. But everything on that is metal, which is just a godsend. Thank you, finally, for upgrading those from those crappy plastic ones. The original Phantom had these weird, like ribbed plastic things that would just come out and you just like, oh, I guess it's in, I don't really know. And then your DVD drive falls out of the front. But thankfully they have a door to stop that. Maybe that's why that door's there. It's not, but it could be. Okay, and behind door number 1 is all of your bay drives. What are those, 5 1/4? 5 1/4 drives. I always mix up my numbers again. Didn't pass math class, just went in there with hammers. I was suspended numerous times. There was the reset button is actually located on the inside here because not a lot of people use the reset button. I think NZXT finally realized that, and again, made the smart move to kind of hide it in a place that, well, will hopefully not get pressed accidentally. I don't think I'll ever be in there just pressing up in the top corner, but who knows? Have I mentioned what I do in math class? Other than that, there's a big grill here in the front. Unfortunately, the grill doesn't extend inside of the door, but they did include, I think it's a 200mm fan. It could be a 180, I don't know off the top of my head. It's a big fan. It's much bigger than a 120, much bigger than a 140, but there is one that comes in there. I'm pretty sure it's a 200mm because NZXT loves their 200mm. So, spinning around to the back, you can see a lot of other really awesome features, such as this lovely little area to plug in all of your fans. Again, if you're trying to use their fan controller or what have you, you have a centralized point to plug in all of your fans, plus more. I think that there's actually more ports here than you can put in fans in the case. Don't quote me on that. You could just throw fans everywhere, I don't know. There's also a mounting spot for an SSD back here. I'm gonna actually put my OS drive back here because how often do you switch out your OS drive? So that's gonna go back here, and I'll put all of the other drives up in front there. Other than that, we have a recessed area down below where you could probably tuck a lot of more wires and stuff like that. It's just under an inch of space. I don't have a ruler around here. I lied. There's a ruler right there. It's just under an inch. I don't think that Lee is going to be able to focus on that, but it's about an inch to the little rail here. But that's pretty cool. Another recessed part right here where all these wires go in. This panel actually cuts in to the case, so it gives you a little bit more room to route stuff up and down in this main little area here. Other than that, you have your easy to use slide out trays, and finally a center mounted SSD bracket on these things. They're always off like to the side or doing whatever upside down. You got a double stick tape, you do what you want. But again, NZXT decided, you know what? Why not just put them in the center? Let's just make it easy on everybody. Let's make it pretty, you know? So it's right down the center. Very nice of them. Again, there's tons and tons of thumb screws back here to take out the drive bays that you don't want, or mix and match them, put them around, bring the one up here and the two down there, do what you want. Additionally, these drives actually support a little bit of soundproofing. So there's little rubber grommets here behind the thumb screws to help prevent hard drives from rattling and stuff like that. So it's very nice. Again, crazy easy to bring these in and out. The rails that are on these are just fantastic. Another great feature about this, is just great feature after great feature, is that the top area here, if Lee wants to come in a little bit closer, there's an insane amount of room underneath this grate. So much so that you could probably get away with putting the radiator and fans, maybe all the way up here, but you're probably better off putting the radiator from the inside and then putting your fans up top. There is no filter up here because this is meant to be an exhaust. Since heat rises, it's just good for that. So how about we pop this off and I'll show you actually how much room you actually have under here. All right, so we have the top off and the front off, and I busted out my MNPC Tech mod ruler over here. Shout out to Bill Owen, but it is bang on 200. So you got a 200mm fan there, and your I/O lights right here, which I forgot to mention, but they're right there recessed in the front. So the top, comes off. Not that easy. This is actually really tough to get out because, well, it's new and they don't want anything to fall off. But you can see there's just tons and tons of room up there. It's actually probably easier to see the depth right here. It is incredible. If Lee wants to come in a little bit closer again, you can see that you have support for a 360 rad or two 200 millimeter fans up top. They got little recessed cuts out right here. Another thing that NZXT again loves, 200 millimeter fans. They're fantastic. Not only does it support the 200 millimeter fans, it has 140 slots here and then 120 slots here, so you can move it back and forth to just adjust where you actually need it, which is probably going to help us out a lot because, well, to be able to move your radiator over an inch or two, that can open up a whole new option for you. It's very nice that NZXT is so friendly towards the water cooling community now, because they definitely weren't with the original Phantom. It was tough to work around. A lot of customizing. But anyways, that's going to do it for the Phantom 530 review, or look over, however you want to say it. Review implies that I'm going to give it a score. Obviously, it's my case. It's an 11 out of 10, so I'm a little biased. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you like these videos and you want to see more. I'll see you for the next time.